Hi, I'm Chris Carter, course developer and instructor at Point Blank. This tutorial gives you a flavour of what you can expect on our online courses. If you want to develop your music production skills further, head to Point Blank Music School to find out more about the courses we offer in London, Los Angeles, Ibiza, and online. As we've seen in several previous videos, Absynth is a really versatile instrument with loads of different features. As well as all the filter types, we have the modulation types, the frequency shifter, the ring modulator. We have wave shapers here which we can use to distort the sound. And we have the effects such as the etherizer and the various different delay modes. But we're not restricted to using any of these features only within the synth using oscillators. What we can actually do is use Absynth as an effect by taking advantage of this audio in feature and processing external audio through any combination of these effects modules. And this can be done either on an insert or on a bus. What I'm going to do on this example is take several channels, in this case a multi-track vocal, and I'm going to process them all at the same time through the same Absynth. So I'm going to take all 4 channels, send them to a single bus, all at the same level, and on the return I'm going to load up Absynth MFX or multi-effects. What I need to do now is go to the patch window where I will see that audio in is already selected, but in this case we're going to be working in stereo. And by default you can see that the etherizer has been enabled here. And if we take a quick listen,
I close my eyes to say goodbye to being lonely. Baby, I'm yours to find.
we can hear the effect. This doesn't mean that we're restricted to using the effects that we find in this page though. If we go to the patch window and turn this off, we'll hear the external audio being processed through any modules that we enable here. So to hear this more clearly, what I'm going to do is just solo Absynth. And a first very simple example would be to load a low pass filter. And we'll hear the filter cutoff being adjusted as I bring this value down.
I close my eyes to say goodbye to being lonely.
Or alternatively, we could load something like a frequency shifter or a ring modulator.
I close my eyes to say goodbye to being lonely. Baby, I'm yours to find.
And obviously, a lot of these effects work really well in various combinations. So sending a ring modulator to the etherizer, for instance,
I close my eyes to say baby.
we can also take advantage of Absynth's quite flexible internal routing options. For instance, if I enabled another audio input channel here and loaded up a different effect, maybe a frequency shifter in this case, then what we could do is go to the effects tab and choose any combination of channels that were now going to be fed to the etherizer. So what I should hear now, if I slow this down, is quite a slow tremolo effect on the ring mod, which is dry because it's not going to the etherizer. And then we can also modulate the frequency shifter here, which we'll hear with the delay effect on it.
I close my eyes to say goodbye to being lonely. Baby, I'm yours to find.
Finally, there's a couple of things that we'll need to do if we want to automate any of these effects, which we're quite likely to want to do in the case of things like ring mod and frequency shifter. So what I'm going to do first of all is create a lane for the auxiliary track in my arrange window by pressing Control click and saying create track, and that's now appeared here. And what I would normally be able to do is to just put this into touch or latch and adjust a parameter and automatically see that being written. But that's not happening. And the reason for that is, if we go to Absynth, you can see that we don't have all of the parameters of the instrument available, but what we do have are these macro controls. So the macro controls appear here on the Perform tab, and what I can do is select one of these for any parameter that I like by control clicking on that parameter, first setting the maximum value as I would do for an envelope, selecting macro control. When I go back to Perform, you can see that we now have a slider, and with this still in touch or latch, you can see that all of the effects can now be written. And with 12 macro controls, that should be enough, depending on what modules we have loaded, to automate pretty much anything we want.